Hey guys, Sandie here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a bunch of different things. So today is September 8th. So today's Scraptember prompt is scraps. Today's mixed media mayhem prompt is texture paste splatters and scraps. And then the challenge that I issued yesterday on this channel was challenge to do 5 things. Use scraps, something blingy, something fabricy, something inky, and something dimensionally. So I'm going to combine them all because it just worked out that way. So we're doing Scraptember, Mixed Media Mayhem, and answering the Scrapping Reflections Challenge that was posted yesterday. Normally I don't combine a whole lot of series like that, but these were all just so good together, I figured it had to happen. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. So let's see what I can do. Guys, so I'm starting out with my Mickey head stencil, and this is on the Scrapping Reflections website. And I'm just using some plain old white texture paste through the stencil. I'm applying it with a silicone brush, and I find that I have pretty good control with a silicone brush when I am applying different types of media. So I'm just going to do a little strip of this over on the left-hand side of the page, and then I'm going to peel it off. I love stencil reveals. And then I'm going to go ahead and figure out how I'm going to layer up this photo. So this is me, and I'm holding a Disney 100 Corel plate, and this was one of my birthday presents this year. So you can see in the photo that I obviously have big, huge smiles. And I was so excited about these plates. They are Corel dishes, and you know, Corel hardly ever breaks. I won't say that they don't, because I have had Corel plates in the past that have broken. But I was really stupid excited to get these. And Chloe just happened to take this picture, and I think that the picture turned out adorable. So yeah. So anyway, I have this scrap of paper that has these thick stripes on them, and I decided to add in a little bit of neon green to that stripe. So I went ahead and cut it apart and added that stripe in, which was another scrap. So I've got that going on, and then I'm going to mat my photo on top of that, and then the photo will also be layered over top of this black and white heart paper. Now here is where I am bringing in the fabricy stuff. So let's see, I've already used scraps, I've already used texture paste. I'm going to cross these off my lists. I crossed them off too while I was doing the layout. So scraps, texture paste, and fabricy things are already done. So this is a really old Queen and Company felt ribbon type thing. And to me, this is fabricy. So it's going to go ahead and lay over top of the black and white heart paper. And then I figure out where I want the photo to go, and I am going to add some of this fun foam so that my photo isn't going to kind of like teeter-totter over top of the felt floral ribbon, and it's not going to be, otherwise it would be like a fulcrum, and my photo would teeter-totter back and forth over that, and I did not want that to happen. So anyway, I'm going to glue this sucker down, and I'm using some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, which is my absolute favorite wet glue. So I'm going to add some more over top of the felt ribbon as well, and then get my photo placed. So I push that down, and I am happy with the placement of the photo. I'm feeling good. And then I have this frame right here. Pretty sure this came from Paper House, and I only have one of them. So I'm going to treat them as some big ol' photo corners. And I'm using my grid mat to line it up and I wanted to see if I wanted it on top or underneath, and ultimately I decided that I liked underneath the best. I'm using that grid mat to line up the photo corner, and I'm also using the grid mat to line up the black and white heart paper. And what that's going to do is allow me to have these corners over top of my paper where they're all equidistant and it is symmetrical. So I get that down, and I'm feeling really good about this. Technically, I could say that this is blingy because the silver foil stars on those photo corners are a little bit blingy, but I'm not. I'm going to bring in more bling than that. And I've used some fun foam, and I'll use it again. So my dimensionally stuff is done. So now I just need to be blingy, inky, and use some splatters, and all of my requirements for this layout are going to be finished. So I cut down another scrap because I felt like I needed more pink on this layout. I like pink, you guys. I know that people are like, pink in scrapbooking, it's so overdone. But you know what? If you like it, then you use it. And I guess really it's good if you like pink because there is so much pink in scrapbooking. So lots of options for you, right? I just don't want pink in my Christmas collections. I'm not a huge fan of pink in my Christmas collections. Not to say I haven't used Christmas collections that have pink in it, but they're not my favorite. Okay, so I'm going to put this down here. Now, I was going to ink the edges of my papers, and I was like, oh, I'm going to have to pull this apart and ink all the edges. But you know what? I was like, you know what? I can do inky things another way than just inking edges. I am going to ink a stamp and stamp on this layout. So I've got this old twirly-whirly kind of, I don't even know what it's called, decorative swirly twirly-whirly type stamp. I don't know why I can't think of a word for that other than I have sinus congestion, brain fog. But I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on the right-hand side of the paper where it's going to peek out from behind my layout. And then I'm also going to stamp over on the left-hand side of the paper. And I didn't really want it to come through on the Mickey heads. I want it to look like it was underneath of the Mickey heads. So I went ahead and used some Post-it notes to cover it up. Too bad, so sad. I didn't realize that up at the top, I did stamp straight over top of the Mickey heads because I didn't have my Post-it far enough up. But I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to stress about it. If you stress about it, I'm sorry. If that would stress you out and you'd have to start all over. But me, I'm not worrying about it. So I just marked off some stuff that I needed. I just did inky. So now I've just got blingy and splatters left. So now I'm going to position the basically my layout over top of my background and adhere that down. And I did use wet adhesive and dry adhesive to do that. I find that dry adhesive does not stick as well over top of textured items. So like with this texture paste, any kind of glitter glaze, that kind of thing. And it isn't completely dry either. So I want it to have both forms of adhesive on there so it would actually stay stuck down to the page even when it dries off. So I pulled out these two little vellum balloons, and they are from a LA Studio embellishment pack when their magical collection was released a couple months ago now, or probably almost a whole year now. I don't know. It's been a hot minute since this one was released. I am going to do some more dimensionally things and pop these bad boys up on some fun foam, and I am going to use that fun foam sticky part to hold on their balloon strings. Not Baloo. Baloo is a character in Disney, but not Baloo strings. So I go ahead and leave the strings pretty long because I know I'm going to put a title up over here on top of my kind of almost neon green felty fabricy, ribbony type thing here. I was toying with the idea of putting a big old heart down there, just to really enforce the fact that I love this. But I think you can see the expression on my face, and even though you can only basically see my eyeballs, you can tell that that person is happy. Like, you can tell. Even if you had no idea who the person in the photo was, what the significance of Disney 100 is, what my love of Disney is, somebody could look at that photo and be like, dang, that girl is happy holding up that plate with some Disney stuff on it, right? Like, you would just know. So anyway, I go over to my stash and I pick out some numbers, and it says 100. Now these are some sort of thicker, I don't know which ones, but I am going to figure out which label they should be on top of. And ultimately I pick out this black and white label, and then I am going to layer it on top of another label. So fun fact, the thickers don't want to stick to the label. They stick lightly, but every time I picked up the label, they want it to move. So I grabbed the other label that I want to use, and it's pink because, again, I like pink. And I'm going to place it directly over top of the felt floral bit. I am going to tuck that pink label underneath of my photo mat and put the black label over top of my photo mat. Then I realized I never adhered down the balloons, so they're going to go there. And you might be thinking, why the heck do you have balloons? Hello, it's my birthday. And you'll see that in the journaling, because I actually do a line of journaling on this layout. I go ahead and grab a Copic marker, and I'm going to color in the inside of the numbers here. So these are on kind of like a very light newsprint, and the number is outlined. So I just color in, like I said, with a light pink. And the light pink coordinates with the other pinks that are on the layout, so it makes me happy. I do go out of the line ever so slightly, but I'm not worrying about it. It's not even so much that I felt like I had to go get my colorless blender and kind of like wipe it off, basically. I just couldn't be bothered with it. So now I'm going to use that Nouveau Deluxe one more time to go ahead and get these numbers down here so that they will actually stick and stay on the layout. So now I reference my sheet. I think I referenced my sheet. Oh, I'm trying to decide if I want to bring in some hearts over top of these balloons, if I want to decorate the balloons, or if I just want to leave them in their current state. I do decide to leave them in their current state and decide that those star blingy pieces that were sitting on my desk were a little bit too big for this layout. So I'm over in my bling box, and I am trying to figure out what bling I want to use on this layout. So I find these two little bits of stars, and I have a blue star and a green star. So I decide that I'm going to just put some stars up by the little tag that says "Can't Stop Smiling," and then I'm going to kind of sprinkle some stars all around where I have that stamping down to just kind of, you know, give it that little extra oomph. Now, guys, I will admit I forgot the splatters until I was getting ready to do this voiceover. So I did add splatters. You'll see them in the photos. I actually had already taken photos and then was like, dang it, I forgot the splatters, and had to go delete those photos and take new photos. The journaling simply says, Christopher gave me a set of Disney 100 Corelle dishes for my birthday, and then my birthday this year, 5/25/2023. So there you can see the splatters. I did use the Kaisercraft Kaiser Mist in turquoise iridescent spray because it's sitting on my desk, because I'm lazy and it matched the color, so I just decided to go with that. See, those are those eyes. I'm telling you, you can tell that girl is happy about a plate. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out everyone listed down below, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.